Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I decided to borrow the wife's Ninja 1100. This is the EX SE, I think, version. And she got this because she loves her sport bikes, but wanted something she could tour on easier. So my thought was, I am a very heavy person, so I wanted to know if this bike would be good for, oops, wrong button. Okay. For someone that's larger. Because I've ridden her R7, and that thing is just painful to ride as a big guy. And so figured this would be my first chance stealing her bike when she's not around, be able to shoot a quick video and answer a question myself. Would this be a good bike for me to use to go to work and back if I wanted a sport bike? Because right now I have the Tiger, which is great for what it does. I mean, I would have to add the luggage to this to be able to use it for work. But is it comfortable enough to do that hour plus rides? Because like I took her R7 out, or I brought it home for her when we first bought it, and that thing was, that I think it was like a 40-minute ride. That was very cramped up for me, and I was like, this is not an enjoyable vehicle for me to ride. And I got to ride it one other time for her, and so I was like, no. So it made me curious on this one, because I told before, like the FJR is a bike I'm very curious about. Granted, it's discontinued now, but being that I have the Valkyrie, I'm not really concerned about bikes that aren't in production, as long as they seem reliable and are able to find some parts for to make them still run. But if I wanted something modern and current, would something like this be what I'd want? And so far, like my leg is higher than it is on the adventure bike, of course, but it's not as cramped as it was. So I figured we used to go out for a little bit of a jaunt here and kind of see how I think about this while I'm riding, and hopefully I don't get any trouble with her bike. I mean, one thing I find interesting, and I don't want to adjust all of her settings on here, is that like the mirrors, being that they're actually on the bike versus on the handlebars like my Tiger. The Tiger, when I get onto speed, there's so much vibration in the bars, and I can feel some vibration in these bars, that the mirrors are like, I have to literally put the bike into neutral or coast it just to be able to look behind me when I'm on the freeway. And it's like, what's that dot back there? Like, is someone catching up to me? And I can't really tell until I hold the clutch in. So I think that's one big plus of this design, is to them being separate. It gives them the body of the bike to be able to hold the vibration down versus, what the vibration in the handlebars are. Alright, what's everybody gonna do? yeah, me being a bigger guy, I'm over 300 and 5'10". So I am very much on the larger side. I should stay on cruisers if I were to go by that spectrum. But sometimes I like the enjoyment of a different style bike too, and I'm sure a lot of other people do. So it just kind of made me curious of like, okay, what's this thing like? I can say part of it is a lot more wind here, but it's like a little bit more wind noise than versus like, you know, a Road King or something that has a full windshield on it. So far it feels better than what that little windshield did on the Duke. We put that little aftermarket windshield on it, but even that, like, it helped a little bit, but it still gave me a lot of head buffeting. There is a freeway up here I'm about to go jump on just to see how it feels. But just like any sport bike though, I mean, you can tuck down. I can't tuck as much as I should because of my size, but you know, it's an interesting little bike so far. Granted, I've only gone, you know, 3 miles on it. This is actually my first time using an inline 4 bike. So like the Tiger's a triple, the Honda's a flat 6, and the Harley was a V-twin, and so yeah, it seems smooth, like it's a nice little ride. Have not hit freeway speed yet though to see what the bar vibration is like. It's supposed to have a quick shifter, but I'm not really able to get it to trigger. Because yeah, the Tiger's quick shifter, I mean, that thing is so smooth and quick, and it doesn't matter what your throttle level is and whatnot, it just works. Let's see if I get higher in the RPM range. Let's see. Nope. Interesting. I cut throttle? Nope. Huh. Not sure how our quick shifter works. Definitely bouncier than the Tiger, but it's also a sport bike versus an adventure bike. Other than that, though, it's actually pretty smooth right now. I'm not getting blown back in the winds. It is noisier, but I feel like going around right now. But I mean, I'm not getting blown out. Like, I can feel wind on my shoulders slightly. Well, it seems like it does pretty well. I know the wife was saying something about the bike wanting to track a little bit a different way, but I don't know if I'm adjusting differently. I don't really feel that. Interesting. Yeah, this road definitely has some interesting bumps in it, I can say that. Because I just feel myself bouncing up and down right now. So one of my concerns is like when I started sitting on the bike was that like my legs being up higher than the adventure bike, would that get, you know, painful right away? Like in the outside the R7, like that one I had to keep my feet as high as I could. Being a heavy guy, like my legs were just compressed as much as they could be, and it was very difficult to shift, and it was difficult to you know, hit the brakes well enough where I had to keep shifting my foot around. This one I don't have that issue. The only issue I had is that my feet or my legs, I feel like I have a shorter leg. I think on my inseam's like only 28, so it's pretty short, even though I'm 5'10". But like I can flat foot this bike, but my legs are hitting the pegs. So I have to be very cautious of where I keep my feet at on the bike. Or when I'm like at a stop sign, so I have to be mindful of how I'm getting down. But if this was my daily rider, I would just, you know, learn how to do that. I mean, with the turbulence that this truck now just gave me, the bike seems to be, feels really smooth still. I mean, I'm getting blown back slightly here and there, but it's on the highway, going highway speed with the turbulence of a truck in front of me. I'm not getting blown off the bike, and I don't think the bike is trying to push away. Actually, I think it tracks really well. Now, in all honesty, I think this bike is close to almost the same weight as the Tiger is. But, the negative me not having the mirror set up for me. I'm sorry. So, like the Harley was 800, 900 pounds. The Valkyrie is like 800 pounds. So those are solid bikes. They're low to the ground. And this one, I think it's just over 500, and the Tiger's also like in that 500 to 600 pound range as well. The difference with the Tigers is it's way up higher, so if you don't want that height and you weren't going to do off-roading but didn't want to do a cruiser, if you don't like the design of cruisers, this is actually a pretty nice ride. Not too bad. And it does have options for luggage if you want to actually tour with it. It is a sport touring motorcycle. Windshield, yeah, I mean, again, because I'm 5'10" and I have a larger upper torso area, like the wind, it's hitting me kind of in the face, but it's not like it's blowing me around. I don't feel like my helmet's giving me that buffering feel. So I think you could probably easily do, you know, good distances on this thing. The seat, right now, it's soft, not too bad. Seems to be supportive. I mean, the only difference is on this is that you're just leaning more into the handlebars versus an adventure bike, you're sitting more upright. But this is also a lot more upright than I would be on an actual sport bike. So yeah, I think if you wanted a sport bike styled motorcycle, but don't really feel like that you're, you know, because of your size, that you could ride one comfortably, you know, check out this, probably the GSX Suzuki, whatever it's actually, I can't remember, it's like 1,000 something. It's their new one that they came out with, the Gixxer 1000, but it's their touring model. It really has a weird front end on it though, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, you could do a Hayabusa. They're just so damn expensive. You could do the what is the 14XR of this thing? Yeah, like both my feet right now are planted. They're just out farther because of the foot pegs. but I can still flat-footed even with my feet being separated, or my hips being separated like that. Alright, let's do this highway. Yeah, what I don't know is this thing's supposed to have a quick shifter, just doesn't act like the quick shifters I've done, so I would have to research exactly how it's supposed to trigger, because what I'm used to doing, it's not doing, so I'd have to find out what it wants it to do. Now, this one is the SX version, or the SE, I forget what they're termed. I think the SE variant, so it only comes in the green, but with it, it gives you a better suspension, so it's the showy shocks on both front and rear, and also has the better braking system, so it has Brembo brakes on front and back. So that's kind of one of the reasons that we did spend a little extra money on having it, for the difference of the performance. But alright, what's everybody doing? It's got a larger tank because it's the larger engine to get to that 200 mile kind of average. This thing is saying it's going to get about 200 miles on this tank, but it's a 5-gallon tank on it. So you're looking at around 40 miles to the gallon. The R7 is like over 50. But again, it goes back to the sizing of it. It's really mobile. It rides smooth. And right now I'm still in road mode. I'm not even using it has a sport mode on it, and it has, of course, the rain mode on it as well. But again, trying not to change any settings. A little bit of vibration in the handlebars. Not too bad. Nothing out of the normal. Unless you go to like my Harley, man, that thing is like 75. It was glass smooth. It had no care. But yeah, if you look at like that Goldwing that just went by, guys sitting back and relaxing and whatnot. This one, you are leaning forward again, so you are sacrificing that lounge chair feel for the sport feel. But we went on a road where had a lot of cornering on it and a lot of turning, and you can do that on any bike, but sometimes this is what you feel comfortable doing it with. I've done it on the Harley, and then I did it on the Tiger this last trip, and I don't know if it's just the Tiger, I felt more confident doing it to an extent, or the time it spent since I took it last. But I was hitting the corners a lot faster than I was the first time, so. And it wasn't because it's like, oh, I've already done it before. No, it was years ago, so I can tell there's a difference in that part of it. It's fun to ride. I think if you are a bigger person, this would be a fun bike to have if you want to get into a sport bike versus an adventure bike or a cruiser. This would be a great bike to have for that. And I don't know, I think it was like around 15 grand for one of these versus like a Harley's, for a Road King, you're looking at like, what, 25, 30, some, depending on which level you're looking at. A Hayabusa is like close to 30, I think, also on the new market, used, you're still looking at like 15 for some of those not too old models. So I think they're priced just under what a lot of adventure touring bikes would be like. But hey, it's fun. And you can take an adventure on it. Alright, but since I feel like I'm just talking in circles now, I'll finish up this ride. So you guys be safe. Have fun. Thanks for coming along. Till next time.